How's it going, everybody? Today's video is a big one. We're talking about Quasar, the legendary Age of Annihilus War Offense character. Wait, don't turn the video off. You're in War Offense, you're about to turn the video off. This guy is so much more than that, but also Quasar, future legendaries during Age of Annihilus, and Annihilus himself are going to form to be a mega team. You can expect them to rule the arena and everywhere else in the game when that happens, so do not skip this guy. But when you see the gameplay, you're going to be happy that you're going to build this guy right now, because in the War Offense, it's a monster of a character, okay? So let's talk about why that is. And whenever I want to know a character's impact on a match, I want to know what their passive does, especially is it affecting the speed of matches? Let's be honest, Marvel Strike Force matches, if you take a good match, they're over within the first 3 or 4 turns. Like, you've already decided if you won or lost within those first 3 or 4 turns. So how does Quasar affect that? Well, he gives offense up immunity to self and allies. Cool. He heals. Cool. He gets immunity on the first turn of any enemy character with his legendary. Fine. Exposed. 300% piercing, 5% health steal, reduced turn bar. That's pretty good. Drained, reduces barrier. Fine. He gains safeguard. Pish posh, whatever. While this character's health is about 50% or more, enemies cannot fill speed bar for themselves or allies. The zombie Scarlet Witch effect. Nice. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Allies cannot gain exhausted. Okay, anti-Mephisto. Cool. Focus damage can only be reduced by offense down. Okay, Cosmic Ghost Rider anti-counter. Enemies cannot gain immunity. All right, I'm interested. The speed of all characters can only be altered by positive negative effects. No old school Emma. No nulls. No Mephistos. No Night Stalkers. No Alpha Flight, I guess. For anybody. Not on your team. Not on their team for sure. So what's this guy doing? He's stopping speed bar for enemies. He's stopping speed stat across the board. Now I want to see his speed. How does he interact? 129. Okay, he's fast. He's really fast, actually. And since he's stopping speed bar, the other thing he's really worried about is enemies having speed up on spawn, or enemies having a speed stat higher than 129, which isn't super common. Like, Gore, one of the fastest new characters that came out, is 129 as well, right? But we have some older characters that would pair really well with Quasar that wouldn't really perform good on defense. Red Hulk, Black Cat, Storm. Jean is tied with him. We just got one new character that would be fantastic with him, Songbird. Songbird comes in, unavoidable, unblockable, 500% extra focus, AoE buff flip on everybody. Would set the stage for Quasar. All right, so I could definitely get people to go before Quasar. Striker's starting to make more sense. What does his Striker attack do? Big damage, applies slow, which is very nice if we're going to use his ultimate to start off, and it'll steal 10% health from cosmic targets. Okay, if we get the Awakened ability, it's steal 10% health from everybody. Okay, now it's really interesting, but I don't want to lean too much into the Awakened ability value. There is too much value there, if you ask me, because we don't know how we're going to get it. We don't know if that's Intel Store, offer only, Scourge leaderboard. We have no idea. So let's not focus on that too much just yet. Also, I guess we look at his passive since we're not going to go back there. His passive Awakened ability will clear all the barrier and all allies gain 25% drain. Lowers damage reduction for legendary mythic enemies by 35%. Neither his basic or his passive are mandatory for Quasar to be super impactful. For the most part, they're kind of like anti-Odin counters. Anti-Odin, if he gets his special off and his battlefield effect off, they're kind of anti that. All right, so what's Quasar's opening attack going to be? Well, he'll attack primary adjacents, he'll flip negative effects, he'll clear charge, 500% piercing for this guy is crazy. If he has trauma, he'll decay trauma, though you still want to avoid trauma. I'd rather have like an offense up, offense down, get flipped to offense up, rather than just decay the offense down off, so try and avoid trauma if you can. And here's the big part. Apply ability block for 2 turns and trauma for 2 turns. 1500% extra focus, and here's the blade effect, guys. You know how hard blade hits, right? This attack ignores defense up, unavoidable, cannot be blocked or counterattacked. Crazy powerful, but there's no slow. So if I have this as a striker, I can also get a slow on top of that. So I do like him as a striker. I think there's going to be a lot of ways, as you see in the gameplay, to set that up. Good. The Awakened ability here, this kind of sucks. This is too powerful to be hidden behind the Awakened. This is an anti-Odin, right? So on War Offense, clear battlefield effects on allied side. Allied side is where the Odin goes in. And apply the battlefield effect quantum constructs to allied side. The battlefield effect cannot be cleared or replaced by another battlefield effect and lasts until 18 characters have completed their turns. This is how you kind of counter Odins, and you stop that nasty battlefield effect that from coming up. All right. You can also do a special, though, because we haven't seen the Expose yet. Expose comes from the special. Attacks primary adjacents for 350% piercing and deal 50% of this character's max health. Both abilities kind of do the same amount of damage. 50% of Quasar's max health is actually a lot. In War Offense, defense down, slow, offense down, and exposed to primary and adjacents. Outside of War, just to the primary, but defense down to everybody. He still has a lot of good plug-and-play use in Crucible at 129 speed. On war offense, he'll clear all battlefield effects on the enemy side, okay? So he's not going to clear Odin. He's not going to clear Null. So not super useful in that regard. But also those characters from his anti-speed stat, they don't really get a turn. And then he's going to call and attack. Okay, so that's kind of the TLDR of what Quasar's doing. No speed bar for enemies. No speed stat for anybody. Really big damage. Ability blocks, trauma. Kind of immune to a lot of debuffs. Let's go check out the gameplay footage. I think you're going to be surprised on the teams that I use because I wanted to avoid any sort of like mega cookie cutter team that we already have. So I didn't want to use Undyne. I didn't want to use Liberty or Absolute A-Force or some of those teams that they already have like a really good home. You're going to like kind of the old guys I brought back from the dead. Check it out. All right, guys, real quick. I just realized that Quasar is either bugged or missing proper text. So Quasar's passive clearly states that all characters are not supposed to have their speed altered by positive or negative effects. Mephisto on Quasar's team is still getting it. Night Stalkers on his team is still getting it as well. So we could just go ahead and we could check all their stuff now. You see he's going again. Not supposed to be the case there. We see Man-Thing. He does have 95. Let me see Blade. Blade does have 127, so it's just Mephisto that is bypassing it. He has 127 now, but clearly he had more than 127 because he went first. So yeah, Mephisto is working with Quasar. Not sure if that is intended or not, because if we go to the passive, it does say the speed of all characters can only be altered by positive and negative effects. They must have done the Emma Frost X-Men line of code when they meant to do the Howard the Duck Crucible code. So I don't know if they're going to change that or just do a text correction. I actually don't know if Mephisto with Quasar would be too powerful on the offensive side. So I'm definitely not going to lean to Mephisto here because I don't know what they're going to do with that. All right, let's start this off with something pretty simple. I got a Void Knight, I got a Red Hulk, kind of some forgotten characters. Apocalypse, obviously not forgotten, but we kind of need that anti-safeguard for this particular matchup. I got a Lady Deathstrike. Let's get in there and let's see how they're going to mesh well with Quasar here. First time using this guy, but I know that he's a hard counter to Mephisto in a lot of regards. So let's check this out. Void Knight should be the first to go. Excellent. He'll pull everybody in. Flips all their buffs with that 5,000 extra focus. Again, excellent. I can rewind everybody, but that's kind of push that Thanos, right? Am I worried about that? I mean, in the world of Overpowered, you'd probably want to be careful of that in the live server. Let's do this here anyway. Wow, that wrecked him. I wouldn't have done that on the live server. I would have kind of hit the gore and then done the Falcon Punch on the Thanos here. I don't get that option, so let's just go ahead and send it. All right, so no speed bar, no speed stat for them. Makes me kind of just lapping like crazy. We ate that attack for breakfast. Clear all charge. None of them have barrier. Trauma ability block. Oh, that's nice. It's 500% piercing damage. All right, let's slow this down. Let's see this attack. Boom. Whoa. Whoa. Wait. Okay, I thought they died for a second. All right, that was great. And since we got slow and everything, wow. Okay, we got to find some harder stuff for this guy to tackle with his friends here. Astro Black Cat. This is a team that we're seeing all over the place right now. So let's see how this one will go. I assume this one's going to be perfectly fine too, because again, we have our Apocalypse. We're able to get through those safeguards. I'm able to bring them all together. I'm able to rewind everybody, except I can't if they have the Shadow King Awakened ability, I guess. But I still get speed bar. So I'm still going to be doing massive damage here. It looks like they do have that Awakened ability because I wasn't able to rewind anybody. But I get my own speed bar. I'm going crazy. I'm going to be killing everybody here. Quasar hasn't even taken a turn yet. Does this team just does this team already win? Maybe, maybe I don't know. But we are stopping any kind of speed set if they did have the Awakened ability. So unsurprising, that's an easy win. But that's going to be pretty good for a lot of players. The new Thunderbolts team. Yeah, it's got to be used as a 5-piece. It's technically better on offense, for sure. But one of the things that this team heavily relies on is that they're going to be getting the speed bar when they get hit for the first time. Except they will not be getting that speed when they get hit for the first time when they're up against a Quasar. Because if he's above 50% life, he's doing that Scarlet Witch zombie thing. If Void Knight is not getting his speed bar either, so I guess I didn't fully understand this. I brought Brawn in instead of Lady Deathstrike, which was probably a mistake. But we'll continue this anyway. Here we go. All right, now we can bring him in. She's the first character to go, so let's go ahead and get her under control. Ability block cannot land on this full team. When she's a full team, she stops them not only from getting ability block, but also trauma. So there'll be no trauma here either. But there is a stun. Where's Victoria Han? I could probably kill Victoria Han, or we can kill... You know what? Let's just take out the Songbird. We've definitely done more damage to her. And then let's see what this guy's going to do. Let's see him shine. So he's going to do a bunch of damage to him. And I really do like Void Knight with this guy, because I love that pull in together. And Void Knight just being a super fast character makes that work really good. Unsurprisingly, Thunderbolts don't really stand up even to this sort of like old school hodgepodge team. Looks like Red Hulk's about to get his ultimate off too. Songbird is dead. Even if she wasn't, as soon as you take one member out, they can start gaining trauma. Absolute destruction. I'm kind of using just teams, characters, even Apocalypse. We definitely still have use for Apocalypse, but nothing crazy anymore, right? Like, I haven't seen these crazy uses for him in quite a while. So I kind of like that he's kind of pulling together just this garbage team. Because what it means when he pulls together this garbage team, I need to take Braun out because it makes my Void Knight go after Red Hulk. It means that this character with a good team is going to be even scarier, like really scary. All right, let's go ahead and let's just do the percentile damage to him there, because he's been very annoying in the U16, so we know that any kind of percentage damage we can do to him is good. It's kind of why I like Braun there. All right, we got a stun here. We got trauma on everybody. We're just doing our thing as she's taken care of. We'll take care of the Hit Monkey permanently now. We'll hit everybody again. Grouped together for Quasar is just a death sentence. Look at that. That's at 5 stars, by the way. I think we're all supposed to be expecting to get up to a 7 red star, just like we did with the Lander, right? Anyway, let me go and like face the Professor X team and see what kind of limiting factor does this team have. All right, so obviously the other team I was using was not going to work here. We can't turn me to rewind. I can't use like a Void Knight here. I can't gain speed up because of Professor X. This team I've gotten to work 3 times in a row. I can see a big glaring issue here though, especially the Professor X mind controls, because Jean Grey is the same speed stat as Quasar is, right? I think yeah. So if Jean Grey gets hit too much here, I think she just turbo dies. But this is an amazing use for Songbird. So I think the Thunderbolts team is really, really good, right? Like, I love the Thunderbolts team for people in my alliance. For other people, Songbird paired with Quasar is kind of crazy here. Okay, Jean went before Quasar, so this is going to be amazing. Let's do this over here, because I kind of want to keep that vulnerable on the Professor X. So let's let Jean kill that Patriot over there, no problem. There he goes. And the reason I want to do that is because even if Jean dies, and I couldn't kill the Professor X here, what I can do is I can get a nasty ability block on him. Possibly kill him with a Striker attack. Okay, Striker attack, and then he's fine. Okay, it's okay. And then what's going to happen is we're going to have the Apocalypse attack. Now, Apocalypse would heal him. I get special with Apocalypse and get this done, because Apocalypse's ult is actually going to heal him. Let's do it anyway. Let's do it anyway. All right, he didn't heal 60%, and then this is over. Like, this is crazy, guys. It's insane, the stuff that Quasar... He's doing, like, half of what Professor X does, but he's faster, and he works better with others. It's insane. It's absolutely insane, this guy. So 129 speed, stop speed stat across the board. Can't really pair him with Mephisto for that reason. Stop speed bar just for enemies, so you can use that to your advantage. Speed up is still on the table, so you can use that to your advantage too. I love this guy. I'm super excited to get my hands on this guy. The one thing I'll say is, without an Awakened ability, I couldn't beat stage 1. I don't know how it would go with the Awakened ability, but like it's cool that Quasar stops speed bar. So he's stopping the Kahori, he's stopping the Skrull, but then the Mistrava Classic, she's super annoying, right? And because there's an Odin there, I can't really bring in Old Man Logan, because she still does her charge thing. And she spawns at 5 charges. So, like, Quasar is great because he'll shift the charges off her, but then I still need to get a kill, and that just, I couldn't get that to happen. If I wanted to play around with it, like, what could I do right now? So I want to avoid having too many buffs on spawn, because I don't want the Ares to steal them all, right? That's kind of a scary thing to do. I mean, I don't know. It'd probably have to be something like, maybe Undying could come in here at this point and help out. Let's try. And we won't use the Zombie Scarlet Witch, because that's just kind of overlapping too much with the Quasar, in my opinion. Although the Zombie Scarlet Witch does do just way more damage than like a Zombie Iron Man situation. Actually, Zombie Iron Man might be the one to sub out here. Though we do like those bleeds. Let's give this a shot. I think this turbo fails. I don't think it's even close. I think the Mistrava Classic just dumpsters us because of that. The other teams I tried on her, not even close. I tried 3 Mercs, and that was the closest I got. I won 1 out of like 20 fights. It's just not great, right? I guess we could try and spread off of this guy since we can't spread off the Miss Marvel. This will steal charges off, which is kind of annoying. Because now we're going to see speed up on the Kahori and everybody. Yeah, so there you go. No battlefield effect yet. Sure, let's do this. We actually got the charges off her, which is kind of crazy. That's never happened before. Let's go here. Okay. Let's get some bleeds on her. Let's do one of these. Get slow. $3,000 focus. See, the thing is, I knew I couldn't kill the Odin there. And this is kind of the way it goes. You just get stuck on her too much. So I have, like, everyone else nicely controlled, but here comes the Odin, right? This isn't even the Odin battlefield if I come to think of it, so this is even worse. It's just Kahori just is an absolute monster. Not Kahori. Miss Marvel Classic is an absolute monster. So, I mean, there's definitely limits to this guy, in my opinion. I'm sure someone's going to come out and be... Actually, if you were to have used this ability... Like, yeah, sure, whatever. Fine. But there are definitely limits to this guy. He's not like a I super win everything button. He's one step below that. He's the I super win button. For sure. I'm waiting for this Odin to pop off. Come on. Miss Marvel Classic done her job, Odin. It's time for you to step up, big guy. There it is. There we go. That's what we're waiting for. Miss Marvel... I hate her. I hate Miss Marvel Classic. She's such a dick. Yeah, we're still stuck. We're still stuck. We have other teams that we would use to get around something like this anyway, so it's not exactly the end of the world. But I just thought it was interesting that this was the limit. Absolute A-Force, Miss Marvel Classic in particular, doesn't really mesh well with the Quasar. Same as Ares doesn't, right? Like, Ares like, give me your charges, and she's like, well, I'm glad you took those, because now it's time to pop off. Anyway, I was super impressed with this character. I think that what the player base is going to get from building up this character is very, very meaningful. I do think that we're heading to one of the most offensive-based seasons ever, which I'm very excited for because that's where my alliance kind of shines. And I'm interested to know what you guys think about Quasar and his many uses, and what do you think about those weakened abilities? Are we going to be getting this? Because I do think I could have crafted a different team to beat Stage 1, but I still think it would have hinged on the Quasar having his awakened ultimate. I think it definitely would have hinged on that. Anyway, guys, hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. But for now, stay happy, stay healthy, have yourself a wonderful day. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.